Virgin Atlantic is testing the claim every software team cares about. Can Codex help ship faster without making launch day riskier? That is worth watching because this is not framed as a toy app or a coding demo. It is an airline release story where broken customer software can collide with check-in, boarding, support queues, and one of the busiest travel windows on the calendar. OpenAI's May 22 customer story says Virgin Atlantic used Codex to strengthen test coverage, accelerate refactoring, and ship customer-facing software with greater confidence. The concrete example is a revamped mobile app. OpenAI says Virgin launched the app in beta over Christmas and went live in production weeks later, with near-complete unit test coverage and 0 P1 defects at launch. That does not prove every company will get the same result, but it does give us a useful enterprise case study, an AI coding agent being measured against release confidence, not just code generation. The proof object for the video should be the OpenAI page itself. Put the metric section on screen, not a vague graphic. 78 to 80% codebase size reduction on legacy refactors, about 100% unit test coverage on the new app, and 30 minutes to refactor legacy codebases, down from 2 weeks. Then keep the caveat visible. These are OpenAI-reported customer story numbers, not independent benchmarks. They are still interesting because the claims attach to a real operational constraint, not a lab challenge. The behavior change is the main story. Under deadline pressure, teams usually protect the calendar by cutting scope, postponing cleanup, or accepting weaker tests. The Virgin Atlantic story says Codex helped the team move in the other direction, better test coverage, faster refactoring, and enough confidence to keep the release path open. That is a different productivity claim from AI writes more code. It is closer to AI reduces the reasons a release gets delayed or creates serious tickets after launch. The legacy code piece may matter even more than the mobile app. Most established companies do not move slowly because nobody can imagine a better workflow. They move slowly because old systems make every change expensive. OpenAI says Virgin Atlantic is seeing refactors that used to take weeks happen in hours, and one quoted example puts a 2-week piece of work at about 30 minutes to an hour. If that pattern repeats elsewhere, the value is not just faster feature work. It is clearing the code that blocks the next 10 features. There is a warning inside the success story. OpenAI says the velocity is starting to outpace the rest of the delivery process, including an example where a front-end application from a Figma prototype moved faster than the backend tickets were ready. That is the pressure point builders should notice. Once AI speeds up coding, the bottleneck can move to product coordination, architecture review, backend dependencies, security review, and release governance. The data side has the same shape. OpenAI says analyst teams at Virgin Atlantic can prototype internal applications directly against the company data warehouse instead of routing every request through the central data and AI team. That can help network planning, customer experience, engineering, and maintenance teams move faster. It also means the scarce resource becomes deciding what gets productionized, who can access which data, and how prototypes are reviewed before they become operational tools. My read is that this story matters because it shows the next phase of AI adoption as a management problem, not just a tooling problem. The winners are teams that can pair agent speed with tests, code review, security, and clear release gates. Engineering, QA, analysts, and customers can all benefit if the software gets cleaner and the launch drama stays invisible. The loser is the slow handoff model where every useful idea waits for one specialist queue before it can become software. For a practical business test, do not start by asking whether an agent can transform the whole company. Pick one risky slice, a legacy checkout flow, a check-in screen, a reporting tool, or a migration task. Use the agent to map behavior, improve tests, propose a small refactor, and compare before and after. Did coverage improve? Did code size drop without losing behavior? Did review become easier? Did support stay quiet after release? Those are the measurements that make the story real. What would change my mind is evidence outside official customer pages, independent tests, repeated adoption numbers, security reviews, pricing and limits, and honest examples where Codex slows a team down or creates review burden. Virgin Atlantic's case is a useful signal, not a universal law. The thing to watch next is whether more companies can show the same pattern under real release pressure. If they can, the big shift will not be developers typing less. It will be teams treating quality and speed as a testable system instead of a permanent trade-off.